Kevin Curry found himself overweight and sluggish and facing a doctor who said his health was actually at risk. So he went ahead and made some changes. He started documenting them. And long story very short, he's become a massive sensation in the fitness world. We're talking about a guy who created Fit Men Cook, which is inspiring millions of people. This is Kevin's Second Shot.
On Second Shot, we cover 2 new stories every week to find out what kind of wisdom the world is dishing out today. And at the heart of every one of these stories are people, just like you and me, who've had to overcome incredible odds, to face the greatest challenges, to struggle and fight back. But now, we're changing it up. In these episodes, we're skipping the headlines and going straight to the people that inspire us to grow, to be bold, seek change, and act courageously when the rest of the world may not. A second look, a second chance, a second shot. This is Second Shot Sit-Downs with your host, Jenny Anchondo.
Okay, welcome, Kevin Curry. Good to have you.
What's going on, Jenny? How you doing?
Oh my gosh. So I interviewed you, I don't even know, a few years ago.
Almost like 2 years ago, yeah.
And at the time, I said, this is not enough time. I got to interview him for like 3 minutes, and I was like, okay, we've got to do a deep dive and hear about your story. So before we get into your story, we have to ask the question that we ask to every Second Shot Sit-Down, which is, who are your top 3 people that you would like to meet? And it could even be somebody you've met before, because you're, in the big famous world now. So you're meeting a lot of big time people.
Okay, 3 people that I'd like to meet. 1, Barack Obama.
Okay.
2 would be Jamie Oliver.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Love his energy.
What would be the conversations with both of them?
Well, with Barack, it would just be like how to keep going.
Okay.
With so much thrown at you and having the world like on your shoulders, literally, because I feel like as an entrepreneur, you are so lonely. And I can think of the loneliest position out there would probably have to be president of the U.S. For Jamie Oliver, I love his energy, and I love how he took his enthusiasm for food and turned it into this massive global empire. He makes you love cooking.
Guys would have a lot to talk about. You guys would definitely have a lot to talk about.
Okay, and the third one, I'm not embarrassed by it, but I've been a stan of this person for quite some time. Before this person became this person.
Oh.
Serena Williams.
Oh my gosh. But Serena Williams has always been this person.
Yeah. Well,
But I know what you mean.
But, people were always like, Venus, is great. And I was like, no, Serena will always be like the bigger one.
Yeah.
And I knew it from like a long time ago. So I've been following them since they were like with the beads in the hair, with the tennis magazines, when they were not even pros yet. And to see where she is right now.
Oh my gosh.
And the massive success that she's had, I would love to just sit down with her.
You guys need to do like a fitness collab.
Oh my God.
Right?
Of course.
I just believe in saying things out loud that,
Serena,
could happen.
If you're watching this, please, come and collab with your boy. And also, I've been the one writing your husband saying that it's unfair that you don't make men's Nike clothes because I can't think of any other female athlete who could actually cross over and do both because she's such a big figure. I'm just saying. Women wear the men's stuff, but, if we could have just like men's clothes with Serena stuff on it, I'm just saying it could actually work.
Fit Men Cook has requests.
We have requests, Serena. We're coming for you.
Okay, let's take it back. I want to show some before and after pictures that we have. We've got this one before and after. There's Kevin partying in 2008. What's for the people who are just listening on the podcast, what's the story behind that one?
Okay, so 2008, this was actually in grad school. And that pretty much sums up the grad school experience. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of drinking, a lot of sweating, and a lot more drinking, and a lot more sweating. And
2018, for people who can't see it, he's completely ripped and apparently running stairs.
And I'm still sweating.
Yes, he's always sweating. That's remained consistent.
I'm sweating for a different reason, though, this time.
Oh, man. Okay, so you had a major transformation, lifestyle change. And really, I think the story that a lot of people can relate to is that you were trying to kind of out-exercise a bad diet initially and not really seeing the results.
Right.
What made you ultimately change and turn from 2008 picture to 2018 picture?
Initially, it was a post on Facebook when someone posted about me, and they just tagged me in this picture, and it was pretty bad. And then the second thing that really happened was I was just feeling super depressed.
Yeah.
And I didn't like how I felt, where I was in life. And I just felt this heaviness. And the doctor was telling me, Kevin, you got to make a change. And I knew like deep down that, that I had to make a change. And so when I went to go to this personal trainer and he was going to charge me all this money, I was thinking, Kevin, here you are. You've been off to grad school and you can't figure out how to eat. It doesn't make sense.
Right.
So I took myself over to Half Price Books and bought every single book they had there about food to teach myself, because I was not going to let it hit me in the wallet too.
Yeah.
And so that was the change that I made. I had to hit my own proverbial rock bottom, and it was a huge rock bottom.
So you're there at Half Price Books.
Mm-hmm.
You pick up everything. And did you start making changes immediately, or was it kind of gradual?
It was pretty gradual. So I just started to learn about like what a calorie is and what fat and protein and all those things are. And then I just went into the kitchen and then I began to recreate dishes. And it was a little by little thing. And this is why I always tell people who are trying to transform their life, sometimes we have this idea that we've got to go ahead and change everything right away. Don't do that, because you're going to end up back at square one. You're going to get burned out, you get frustrated with it, and then the change won't last. So what I did was like, all right, Kev, start out with just one meal. And my one meal that I started out each week was just lunch, because I was realizing that I was spending so much money eating out every single day with my coworkers. And lunch got easier. I was like, all right, maybe we can do breakfast. All right, breakfast was easier too. All right, well, maybe this post-workout meal could work too. And so all of a sudden, like over time, I had transformed my entire diet and didn't even realize it.
Yeah, this is, and it makes me wonder if that's part of why you were so successful, because what most people do is they hear, okay, well, Monday's coming up.
I got to do my whole
I'm going to
thing.
do my whole thing. I'm going to meal prep. I'm going to change every single thing. I'm never going to, eat any sugar ever again for the rest of my life. And then, Tuesday comes. You're like, oh, shoot, I got to do that again. So I wonder if that's some of your success. I want to hear about that, what made you start documenting the journey?
Okay, so it's not as altruistic as it seems. I was actually just trying to get a good old hustle in. Because
we, first of all, no problems with the side hustle on Second Shot, so no judgment there.
Thank you very much. So I didn't want to have to pay for all this advice. Plus, I really couldn't afford it at the time. So I said, why don't I post every single meal that I'm eating online to try to get feedback from everybody else? It was a way to crowdsource my diet and get free feedback from people.
He crowdsourced his diet, you guys.
And so the reverse kind of happened. People began to ask me questions about the stuff I was eating and things like that. I was just sharing out what I was doing and how I was losing weight. And people began to follow me in droves. And so that's what started it out. And I just realized there are more people out there just like me who were tired of these bland, boring, cookie cutter meals that, especially here in the South. I mean, we're from Texas, so we have Southern food and we have Mexican food, so we're destined like not to win.
I know,
The flavor is in our blood, it's in our veins. And so I was just trying to find these ways to make this flavorful food a lot more calorie conscious.
Okay.
And people really like that.
Yeah. So how many, what's your following right now? Like how many, give me all your stats.
Honestly, I don't really.
You have 1.4 million on Instagram.
Yes. So
but besides
around,
that,
we have over like 2 million. We publish with a lot of different syndicates as well. So that grows it as well. And then we have the top selling app on the App Store, also in Android, in Google Play. It's called the Fitman Cook app. Then we have a meal prep app. It's called Meal Prep Pro, and that's on the App Store as well, and that does amazingly well. So we have a wide reach globally, and that's really great, because one thing that really frustrated me about corporate America was that when I was working in it, I never felt connected to the value that I was creating in the world.
Okay.
And I love the fact that I can post a video, and literally in like 3 hours, somebody from Germany says, what, I just made this meal and it was amazing for dinner. And I'm just like,
oh my gosh,
that's like, it feels so incredible. And people sending me all their stories and their weight loss. And so I feel like I'm actually making a difference in the world this time.
You are. Yeah, you are. And I think it's great that people can get that content. I mean, a lot of the content you're putting out there complimentary. People just have to go out there and look at it, which I think is really amazing. And then there are the other resources people can buy into for, a really nominal fee. It's not like this is a huge buy.
And really, the app is there just so that you can help to organize your diet. I mean, the recipes are out there for free. You can have the recipes. But if you want to build like a meal plan, if you want to customize it, different portions and do swaps, then get the app to help you out to go and do that.
So we saw the picture in 2008. When did this become a business for you? Like
Oh,
when you were
gosh.
working at, am I allowed to say the company you were working
sure.
at? Okay,
It's
so he's
okay.
working at Dell. And when did you realize I can do this full time?
I don't really remember the moment, but I remember the moment when I said it out loud that I'm going to quit my job. And that was Thanksgiving 2013. We're sitting around the table and everyone's going around. And they got to me and I said, I think I want to quit my job. And all the clinking of the plates just stopped.
Gasp.
And my mom said, finally. And my brother said, good, I know. And I was so shocked because we don't come from like a really rich family and stuff.
Yeah, where people just quit their jobs
we're
because they're
like,
unhappy.
What about your bills? We got to do this. And they're like, good, finally. And so that was confirmation for me because one thing about being an entrepreneur is that, you know, you got to follow your heart. But sometimes when the people around your own support system, if they don't have your back, it does make it really, really difficult to go and do the things that you love. So the fact that they did that was just like confirmation for me, Kevin, you're on the right track.
That is amazing because I think people can be a little bit like, so you're going to quit your job and be on Instagram?
Oh my gosh.
Like, have you gotten that?
Those small comments like that. I get those. Well, actually, you know, I still get those. I get those all the time.
Well,
from
that's
people.
just rude at this point.
It doesn't really.
But who cares? Yeah, who cares?
You know, it doesn't matter if they get it or not, so I'll tell people what I do, and I'll say, you know,
Yeah, what do you say when somebody asks what do you do? If somebody's never heard of
always-
you, they've never read the books or anything.
I try to avoid the question. Actually,
Okay, well, that's not gonna work out well.
I say a healthy chef, and they say where, and I was like, oh, well, actually, I'm a blogger. Oh, and they're like, oh, okay, that's cool.
They think you're
So
a
how do
trust
you make
fund
money?
baby.
So how do you make money?
They think you're a trust
no,
fund
they don't.
baby.
They're just like, so how do you make money? They go right into it. And I was like, oh, well, you know, just different ways. I feel like that's a...
I know it's kind of like a weird question, but I mean, I've gotten that question since leaving full-time
yeah.
TV. People
Oh,
wonder the
yeah,
same
you
thing,
do
like,
it.
so
podcaster.
podcast weird. So like, so
How
nothing.
do you make money?
So you do nothing, but it's also, I think, about having the confidence to do what you do and just
Right.
like not care. And there are certain people that are there for you and support your business and are all about it and they get it and it clicks and you just like laser focus into them and pour into them.
Right.
And then for the people who think, oh, you play on Instagram, well, then that's fine too.
And then that's fine
Yeah.
too. You know what? They're probably going to end up following anyway.
Yeah, they will. They'll get a recipe. They'll get a
Don't worry
recipe.
about it. You know, but that's such a good point though that you bring up for entrepreneurs because you really do have to stay true to like yourself and to the vision that you see like in your heart. And if you really feel that passion, if it's keeping you up at night and waking you up, then go ahead and do it. Now, I'm not saying that you got to go ahead and jump like both feet in like the first thing, but you got to follow your heart. And one thing that I've really learned like on this journey is that I don't like to broadcast what I'm doing to everybody. I don't like to tell people what I'm doing. I just like to go and do it and make it happen and boom. And that has worked out amazingly well, keeping stuff to yourself.
Interesting.
There's a time and place to be able to broadcast like you know what you're doing in terms of your services, but you don't have to broadcast your aspirations and your ideas to everybody because I'm telling you, it is those small comments like what you were talking about, like, so you're gonna play on Instagram. So how are you gonna make money? Are you sure?
And
you
then
wanna
you
do
start
that?
to question yourself.
And
Or
you
I
start
know
to
I do.
question
I
your
know.
passion all of a sudden. So just go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
Move in silence and let success make all the noise for you.
Ooh, that's so good. Okay, that's a great place to wrap up this first segment. Coming up, you guys, we've got so many things to get into. First of all, he's got this amazing spice line. He's got books to talk about. We're also going to get into a discussion about mental health and how he's been navigating this entrepreneurship journey. So we'll do that in the second segment of Second Shot. Really quick break to tell you guys about, and we have been so pumped about this, our new sponsor of the Second Shot podcast. It is LLCcom. So Heath actually introduced me to this company a long time ago because he's been using them for everything. Every time he puts together a new business, he goes there, gets the LLC set up. They send back a little portfolio with everything done. It's legally savvy, legally sound, and put together for you. So if you're somebody who's sort of like thinks that that's the daunting part of a business, which for me, it always has been, myllc.com is for real where you want to go. And they're also hooking you guys up with a deal. So write it down. Maybe you're not starting a business today, but maybe you're getting inspired by the interviews. It is this 99 My LLC, which gives you $99 off of a new corporation or LLC. I will also tell you, we definitely price checked before doing this. It is for sure the most affordable option. Heath and I have been using them for years and years. We just adore this company. So LLCcom, and again, the code for $99 off is 99MyLLC. Okay, back for second segment, and I want to bring in producer Matt, who I have not even introduced yet today. And I also want him, you guys, look at his shirt. He, by the way, picked that out himself.
He is swagalicious today.
He is. He looks so good. If you guys are just listening like on Spotify or iTunes or something like that, you got to grab the video version and see Matt's shirt. But I know you had a question.
Well, hold on. Let me tell you something real quick. I found this at Marshall's.
Okay.
It was $30, and this is like a $200 shirt. So there is bargain shopping out there, folks. If you want to look nice, cool, hip, this is probably the coolest thing in my wardrobe.
It is. He's going to wear it every day now.
I say that all the time to people. Marshalls and Ross, you can find some really good bargain buys.
Nordstrom Rack, too.
Oh, Nordstrom's Rack, yeah.
Nordstrom Rack.
I don't mean to give a free commercial, but just I was impressed.
Yeah, but it's still.
When I looked up, like, I was like, what brand is this? I looked it up, and it's like they've got $800. They've got a shop in North Park. They've got like $800 shirts, and I'm like,
you're never going to go there.
I'm never going to go there.
No.
Even if I was filthy rich, I'm not going to go there.
He refuses.
Right, exactly.
Oh my gosh. Well, we'll have to do Matt's fashion segment as a new regular segment.
It would be very sad. It would be very short, I promise you. No, I was just really, what you said about how living in Texas, we have Southern cooking, we've got Tex-Mex, and I think about my family. My mom's side is from Virginia. And my dad's side, we're like fifth generation Texans. So we are built to fried foods, like lots of starch. I love biscuits. I love gravy. I love, fried chicken and all that stuff. So for me, when it comes to that's what I ate growing up. I'd go over to grandma's house and she'd have a giant thing of mac and cheese or whatever.
That sounds good right now.
I know.
I know, right? We're all shaking our heads I can't wait for Thanksgiving.
Exactly.
We need to get to Nana's house.
So my question has always been, when it comes to this stuff, I always feel like, gosh, I'm having to eat baked chicken again over and over again. I can't get the flavor and the stuff that I'm accustomed to.
Right.
So what has been your favorite dish that you found that is either most flavorful or most reminds you of the stuff that really hits home? What is the best replacement?
The transitional dish.
So, it's a great point because I like that question, because what I tell people is you don't have to necessarily give up the flavors that you grew up with. You just need to find a way to make them a lot more calorie conscious.
Yeah.
And so for me, the flavors that I grew up with were a lot of Southern and Cajun cuisine because my mom is from Louisiana.
Okay.
So one of my favorite ones was this one skillet chicken and shrimp dish that I made. It's kind of like a jambalaya, but it had all the flavors.
There we go.
But we were lighter on all the oils and not extra butter and salt. And it was a really flavorful dish. And I gave it to my mom, and she was like, "This is amazing." And so what I tell people is that whenever you're trying to do that, is to take the core elements of that dish that you really, really like, break down every single thing in there, and find a healthier substitute for it. When it comes to the fried stuff, I thought this was going to be a gimmick, but the air fryer is literally
so good.
Oh my gosh, it's changing the way that I actually cook in my kitchen. In fact, one of my favorite ones that I made was these egg rolls. Chicken avocado egg rolls in the air fryer, and they were a viral hit. So if you can take that to Nana and them, you take that to Nana and them and try it out, and I guarantee if they don't like that, then something else is wrong.
Look, I'm going to tell you, and maybe I'll solicit some free advice here, but my biggest weakness right now, or not right now, my biggest weakness my entire life is bread and butter.
Yeah.
Those are the two things. So when I think about doing, keto type diets or something like that, and they say you can't have bread, I'm like, I'm out.
All you can just do is chug butter.
Right.
I've already failed before I even tried.
I can't do it.
Yeah, what do you say to a true bread, true carb lover?
Yeah, that you're going to have to find other things to satisfy that. And so one of the things that you do, when you're craving bread, you actually are craving sweets as well, oftentimes. So increase your fat intake. So for me, I was eating avocado each day. I started to snack on things like nut butters and nuts, and my sweet cravings and my cravings for bread actually decreased doing that.
Oh, interesting. So maybe it's not that you replace the bread; it's just that you add some other things in.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good tip. Maybe you can, Matt. Maybe you
need
can
to decrease
try
the
it.
bread though. Don't do both the bread and
Right?
the fat.
Yeah. We come in. We're like, we can't fit in our clothes.
We're just talking about to decrease the
Yeah. Okay.
right.
Well, that's a great tip. So you're talking a lot about cooking. You're single.
Yes.
So if someone dates you,
Okay.
are you the chef? Like, do you commit to being the cook in the relationship?
I do, as long as she can help do the kitchen stuff, helping me out with the
like
dishes.
prep and dish.
I've
and
only had one woman cook for me though.
ever?
Yeah, I know.
Oh my God. Well, okay,
know.
that's not good. I feel like at least in the beginning you got to make some effort and then
I've
realize
only
down
had
the road
one.
maybe he's going to
I
cook.
only had one, but I grew up in a household with my mom, and she would always serve us, and she loved to put on dinner parties and stuff like that. So I kind of was the one, to do that too. So
Okay.
I love to serve people and to be like in that role and to entertain. So that's not hard for me to go ahead and do. I actually like that. It's one of my love languages. But every once in a while, it would be nice. In fact, you know what? I will say this.
Yes, tell us.
My best date ever
Oh,
was this. I'll
okay.
tell you.
I'll hang on to a hot tip like this, you
I
guys.
was broke as a joke and not feeling the best about myself. And she invited me to Houston, and I could barely even afford to go. So I was like, what am I going to do?
Like
I
the
can't even
gas
take her.
money and stuff, yeah.
So I went down there anyway. And she says, no, let me take you out. And so we went downtown, went down to her office building. I was like, why are we here? And she had this picnic basket, and it was just some bread, some ham, and some cheese. And she took me to a park, and she made me a sandwich.
That is so sweet and so simple.
Oh my gosh! And it was the best sandwich I've ever had, literally. It didn't work out, but
But what a great memory.
Yeah, it
and
was
I think
that.
it shows it doesn't have to be so over the top.
No, it doesn't have to
right?
be over the top at all. It
What
just
a-
needs to be thoughtful.
What a great memory. Okay, so you have kind of a crazy lifestyle. I mean, you just got back from Morocco.
Yeah.
You're all over the place doing media interviews and promoting your books and brands and oh my gosh, just this whole thing. So what are you looking for in a mate? Like, who's your ideal lady?
I told this to my sister the other day. I said, I don't want to travel to someone. I actually want to come home to someone.
Okay.
And so someone here in
You're not trying to
Dallas-
meet somebody in Morocco?
Yeah.
Dallas ladies.
Dallas, I want someone here to come home to. I'm so embarrassed myself right now.
No.
I'm the dude that actually would love to go to Crate and Barrel on a Saturday and stroll the aisles with you, or to IKEA.
How are you single?
And that's my idea of a couple of days.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and do something like that.
He wants to nest.
Yeah, I'm actually to that point now.
Yeah.
I actually would like that.
It takes a while to get to that point, I think.
And it doesn't help when you travel and you work a lot. So, it's just.
Do you want to have a family?
Oh,
Do
absolutely.
you want to have kids and stuff?
Kids that look like me, and maybe even adopt too. So.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. My husband and
Yeah.
I have talked a lot about adoption
Oh
and
my
stuff
God,
too. I think
a
it's an
wonderful
amazing
option.
thing.
Yeah.
I think it's a really, really amazing thing. Okay, good. Well, I mean, so his Instagram's at Fit Men Cook, but maybe DM me if you're trying to get
Am I
in touch with
sweating
him.
now? Am I
it's
getting
good.
hot now?
I said I wasn't going to put him in the hot seat, but also, here we are in the hot seat. Okay, we're all over the place with this interview because I have so many things that I
Sorry.
want to ask you about. No, I'm loving it. This is because this is my own fault. So I would be way off base if I did not ask you about all the diet trends that are out there right now.
Yeah.
I've got half my friends are on keto, half of them are on a low carb, but not keto. The other half, which makes 150%, are vegan. So where do you land when it comes to and if we all have different goals, right? Some
Right.
people are looking for body transformation, some people are looking for longevity, and some people are looking for overall, vibrance and health. But as a general rule, in terms of general health, and most of America is trying to lose weight. I mean, that's the truth. Where do you land on all these different diets and plans?
Yeah, I always tell people that the best diet that you can ever have is the one that you can maintain.
Mm-hmm.
The thing about the keto diet is really popular right now. I've tried it out myself just to see about it. I think it's a great diet if you can maintain that. Here's the thing that I'd like to caution people, and just America in general, is that diet industry has just become a big business, and we've been told what to think about our bodies and what to think of what health and wellness looks like based off of marketing dollars. And so just trying just to go ahead and grab at these different diets because you want to lose weight, that's probably not going to be the best formula in the long run because you're not going to be able to maintain it. You need to do it inside of your own parameters, based off your schedule, based off your, your own preferences, but based off your culture and stuff. So don't go and just reach and grab for everything. What I'll say about the keto diet is that it is an effective diet. This is the keto was first created in order to help out kids with epilepsy. This is the first time in history where I think we've had a critical mass of people doing it.
Yeah.
So I don't think we'll know the results of keto.
Long-term health,
Long-term health for quite some time. There are some diets that have been around for quite some time, like the Mediterranean diet. That one is a great diet that I recommend for people.
It's just been tested for I don't even know, thousands of years.
And it's just a practical balanced diet. It just talks about eating beef rarely, chicken and fish, prioritizing those, and lots of fresh vegetables. So I think it's a much more balanced diet that you can actually go and do. Vegan diet is great too. I don't think that my dad is now plant-based. I got him to go plant-based about
Are you
2 years.
plant-based?
No, I'm not. But I got him to go plant-based to address a lot of his health issues. I don't think that everybody needs to go plant-based. I respect the people who have done that for like the political reasons.
Sure.
But it's not a necessary thing for you to go ahead and do in order to be healthy. You can I think that we've been told to make meat the star of our dishes. Don't do that.
Okay.
Let's make plants the star of the dishes and complement with meat. So what if we started to eat a whole lot more vegetables and grains and things like that, and then we just put in some
crowd
chicken.
out some of the other stuff.
Chicken and other stuff like that. It's just a difference.
So you do eat meat.
Yeah.
You do eat seafood. Do you eat gluten?
Yeah.
Do you eat dairy?
Yes, occasionally.
Okay. So what are the other things that everyone's eliminating these days? Do you drink alcohol?
Oh, absolutely. I'm Texan.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. He's like, I'm going to have a margarita. Okay. So, and I think that it's interesting for somebody, again, like body transformation is one goal, longevity is another goal, but still to look at somebody and say, okay, they're still in maybe not massive amounts, but still in some way enjoying all of those things.
Absolutely. It's all about balance, and in the right portions of things. You need to enjoy life. I don't think that God, put us on this earth and say, here are all these foods, don't touch them. It doesn't make sense. We have just need to find out how to have a lot more portion control and how to prepare foods in a much more calorie conscious ways.
And which is what your site and your books do.
It's all about balance. I want you to go and do it. So if you are doing keto, you can find stuff there too. If you're doing vegan, you can find stuff there too. But in all, at the end of the day, you need to be able to maintain your diet for the long haul. This is not about a diet just to go ahead and lose these 10 pounds for the beach. Yes, there's a time and place for that, but this is your life.
Yeah.
And life is a long haul. So do something that you can always go back to.
Yeah. Let's talk about, when we talk about long haul, my gosh, I think a lot of people look at your life and think, this guy has got it made. He, left his job at Dell. People started getting interested in his site, and now he's got this whole company. Let's just get a little bit deeper in terms of mental health. I appreciate that you've been open about that lately and are open to speaking to our community about it. What has that journey been like for you?
Long, ongoing, and triumphant in a sense. So it's been long because it's been something that I've been struggling with, that I've recognized since I was a child.
Okay.
And my parents did. I grew up in a faith-based household, so it wasn't one of those things we all talked about. We just go to church and you just pray about it. You don't really get diagnosed for anything.
That can be given as a blanket. I hate that happens.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I hate that happens because I don't disagree that prayer can help, but especially as a child.
But you need help.
We need discussion and actual help. Yeah.
You need professional help. Yeah. And the church just wasn't equipped at the time to go ahead and do that. And maybe even today, I think now we're
depends on where you are.
Yeah, we're going to talk about it. And so it was really hard for me.
So you knew from the time that you were a little boy that you needed something.
That some things were wrong, yeah.
Yeah. And so how is that manifested now in this life where, in a way, I imagine it can be really cool where you're connecting with people, but can also be kind of isolating because you're kind of doing this on your own.
Yeah.
The business and, the mental health journey.
Yeah, well, and so the beauty of this is that I've been able to hit my rock bottom a little bit. And
When was it? Where was it?
Around the same time as that photo, around the 2008, 2009 time frame. I just wasn't feeling myself, and as my therapist said, and my counselor said, my better judgment got my poor judgment got the best of my better judgment.
Of your better judgment.
And I made a decision that was going to try to end my life. And so from then on, I was able to get help, and I got medication. But the crazy thing is that when I began to talk about it and listening to the counselor and to the psychiatrist and everybody else around, I realized that Kevin, there's nothing wrong with me. And I had spent my entire adult life thinking that something was wrong with me, that maybe that my faith in God was not strong enough. And it wasn't just that. I just needed extra help. Just like some people just need extra help for certain things.
We've all got a thing or 2 or 10 that we need extra help with.
And this is the crazy thing about this fitness journey, because in some sense it's been really helpful. And in other sense, I've seen strong parallels between like mental health and fitness, where people can use fitness to anesthetize pain. And they're going to go and work out.
And mask.
And mask it. Because, this is, I'm going to go get him back or something like that. And they're just masking all that pain. And so I've been able to kind of see through that within my own life and get help where I need, but also knowing that like eating healthy and working out helps me to feel better too. So I'm not masking it. I'm just, this is part of these are my pills instead.
Yeah, I think it allows you to, or at least for me, I think it just kind of keeping health things in check allows you to figure out what's actually going on. Because sometimes it could be so confusing. Like, where's the infestation here? I don't know. We got all kinds of bugs. So if you can kind of take care of the ones you can and then get deeper on a mental health level, then it's more clear. And I appreciate you just being open about it. We talk about that on this. Gosh, it's been like, Matt, has this not been such a common theme with all the people we've had come on here?
Oh, yeah.
That they actually seek help?
Yeah.
Like that is so key. I think that yours is going to be like the 6th or 7th one that comes out. And it's like every single one of these people are raising their hands and saying, I'm not ashamed that I am not, brought on this earth completely perfect.
Right. It was the best decision ever when I decided to go and start getting counseling and talk through these issues, just because these light bulbs go in your head. And I remember the day when she told me that it's okay to take medication. I promise you, I felt like I was born again. Like I could see the world differently, and I saw myself differently, and I saw hope for myself for the first time. Like, Kev, like, you are okay. And so now doing this, of course I still have my moments, but now I know how to manage it. And especially with this age of like social media, I know how to keep my personal stuff distant and private, and give myself space too, so I can make sure that Kevin is always okay.
Yeah, thank you for saying this. I'm 1,000% certain there's not just one people, but multiple people who are going to be listening or watching that are going to say, oh, maybe it is okay that I seek out, professional help, and or say, yes, I will take that medication and follow the rules, and and do that. It doesn't make me less of a woman or less of a man or less of a a mother or a sister or a friend or a colleague.
It makes you wise to go ahead and do that. You should care, you have to care enough about yourself, and you've got to get to this point where you've got to literally block out the rest of the world and their opinions and go get help for you. And I guarantee you that you will be the fully functional person. In fact, think about it, that you aren't the one that's crazy. Everybody else is crazy around you.
Yes, it's them.
It's just them. You got any help that you need? I'm talking through all my issues. Hey, you know what? Maybe it's you, bro.
Yes. Well, and I think it's interesting too. I think it's I don't want to say it's perfect that you're single, but how great to be a whole person and a person who's continuing to be discovering themselves prior to meeting the one.
Yeah.
Because you know what I mean? Because when you meet the one and you're whole, it's really, I think it can be really magical. So I would be remiss if I did not talk to you guys about his books and the spices.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So he has a new spice line. And it's funny, Matt, that you brought up, this was not a setup, that
I actually come bearing gifts this time too.
Oh, you did?
I feel like Oprah.
Yeah,
hey, you get some spices, you get some spices. You get...
Oh my gosh. Okay, is this the set of spices? Can I get to keep it?
Oh, absolutely. Of course you do.
Okay, I'm so excited because Matt was like, I missed the flavors of my old foods.
Yeah.
So tell me about the spices. When can we use them?
You can
what
use,
will they be
so
used
this
on?
is a spice system. So we've got 3
open this
that
up.
are these like basic blends that you can use on basically seafood, on chicken, on beef. Let me help you. And
Okay, I think I got it.
Yep. And then we've got 3 specialty blends, which I know that you're gonna love, bro, because these are like hot. Which one is it?
Let's see. Okay, we've got everyday, land, sea, Southern Creole,
These are the
green
specialty
chili
ones.
lime,
These are super high in flavor.
sriracha.
So these 2 are my favorite because this one tastes like Doritos, the green chili lime.
I mean,
And Doritos, I mean, come
this
on.
was
Yeah.
such a good
No,
idea.
you can't beat that.
This was
Let's
such
just
a
stop
good
right there. And the sriracha-ish one is just, it's so sweet and tangy. And this is the one that I used because of my southern roots.
Oh, that's perfect.
Southern
This is the family one.
Yeah, but it has tons less sodium than all the stuff on the shelves, and
Yes.
so you don't have to worry about over seasoning.
Oh, I'm so
And they're
excited
just
about
great
this.
and fresh, and I'm super excited because, going back to that person that I was back in the day, back in 2008, and trying to find things to make the food taste good.
Yeah.
I would buy all this stuff, and by the end of the month, I'd have like all these spices with all this dust on it in my pantry, not knowing like how to use them.
Right.
And so with this spice system, I put together so that you can mix and match these and just create your own flavor profiles.
So that was why I was curious, like of all the different business opportunities, and
Yeah.
I think spices did make sense. I don't know of anybody else that's doing that
I thought this
besides
would
like
be
Mrs. Dash.
I know,
from-
and we've run Mrs. Dash dry. And I thought this would just be an easy way to do that. And these are actually going to lead into other things as well. And
Oh yeah.
I
Okay.
thought
So
this
what's
is-
next? Can you say?
Yes. So we're looking at right now some sauces and snacks.
Oh
Real
please.
flavorful.
The sauces. That's where my
sauces?
husband. Oh my gosh, that's what my husband needs is like the sauces
Which
because
kind?
he's barbecue. Like
I just said that last week.
I mean,
Yeah.
again, we're in Texas. Like
incubating
he's
one.
from East Texas. He is the least healthiest, like the least healthy eater you've ever met. Although we've transformed so many things.
I bet.
Since we got married, and so many things. Some are hits, some are misses. And he's
Okay.
like, this is not the same. But if you could make like a healthier barbecue sauce, don't you think, Matt?
We're incubating that right
absolutely.
now. I just said that.
Yes.
We're incubating that right now.
And maybe like a queso. I mean, I know there's
Ooh.
there's vegan queso, but I mean, if you could get the spices, what a lot of the vegan quesos are missing is that they still have the same nutrient content as original queso, so they're not always
It's like it's
like
same
just the
calorie
same.
content.
Yeah.
It's like-
Right, like there are
It's
like
super
3
calorie
sauces
dense.
I can't excise from my diet, which is queso, barbecue sauce, and ranch dressing. Like, I
Oh,
can't,
ranch, yes, and a ranch.
I can't do
Can
anything
you-
without those 3.
Can you do a ranch?
That's a really, I like the ranch one because I'm also a big fan of ranch. That's part of my treat meal
Yeah.
over at Whataburger. I'll put like
Is that what's your go-to for like a treat meal, and how many?
It's Whataburger.
It's Whataburger.
We were talking about this today on the drive over here. Texas toast,
Oh my gosh, so good.
Whataburger.
So good.
Put some avocado in there to be healthy.
Yeah, some healthy fats. How many days a week do you have like a treat?
Oh my gosh.
Or like how many, is it like once a week or what?
No, it's it's really not even that often because the reality is whenever you're eating healthy and eating like what you want and making it calorie conscious, you don't really crave those foods any longer because your body is nutrient rich.
Okay.
It's when you're starving yourself and
That's
trying to
true.
go on these like bland diets, you're like, well, I got to get something salty
And
right now.
you feel desperate, yeah.
And you feel desperate and you're ready for that. So I just have it, like once in a while, maybe like once a month, twice a month. It doesn't,
Okay.
but I don't really crave it like that.
How do you eat well on the road? Because you travel so much.
Oh, okay. So my go-to snacks would be jerky and nuts and seeds and stuff. I always have those
Yeah, that
with
was
me.
my reporter diet.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, in the
Yeah.
live trucks, and then
But
a banana.
That was what you would have to do because otherwise, you're going to put on that weight super
Yeah.
fast. This is not a plug, but I have found a lot of success with Uber Eats.
Oh.
Wherever I
Yeah,
go now.
they need to sponsor this podcast
Like-
because us too.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, just go into a hotel now, and when I'm ever, traveling, that's what I always get.
You can always find a healthy restaurant someplace
Uber Eats,
around it. They'll
have it
deliver
delivered to the hotel. Easy.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Oh my gosh, I've totally gone over on your time, but I am so
it's a-
thankful. I want you to give everybody, because you've got a bunch of different platforms, different books, give everybody the rundown, every single resource. Where can they find you?
You can find me at Fit Men Cook on Instagram, on Facebook and Twitter, and then at fitmencook.com.
Yes, and if they want to get a book that is, if they want, or the app, or, okay, so we've got the picture of the book up.
Yeah, you can get the book on like Amazon or wherever books are sold, and it's also at fitmencook.com.
He's got so much
Yeah.
inventory. And then the spices.
The spices, yeah. These spices are actually called the Fit Cook, but you can get those also like on my website and also on Amazon.
Oh my
thefitcook.com.
Well, I'm so impressed by what you've done. Just,
Thank you.
With your entrepreneurial journey, and even since I last saw you, your business has grown so much, and
You too. All your energy is different. Your whole vibe and energy is so different. Like
Thank
I love this
you.
Jenny. I loved the Jenny
Thank
before,
you.
but I'm loving this Jenny.
Thank you. Well, Jenny before was wanting to do this, wanting to
Yeah.
do sit down interviews like this, and actually like give back to people.
Yeah, this is Jenny from the block, y'all. Y'all just don't know.
That's
This
right.
is the OG.
Thank you so much for coming on. This has
you.
been amazing, and we will spread the word about Fit Men Cook. Thank
you so much. Appreciate you.